It's Friday the 13th, 2020, and I am heading, I should have probably given you a month, November 13th, 2020, Friday the 13th. And I'm back in my trailer out of work because I'm going to pick a car up. Ooh, I should probably put the phone down. Okay, that's better. So, going to pick up a project that is near and dear to my heart. I am going to pick up the 240 from Paint. I haven't seen it in 2 months. Come on, man. I know, dude. I'm on my street, dude. Hold on. There it goes. I'd say the drive to get there is lengthy and it's mostly back roads, but I don't care, dude. Kentucky's just, look at the creek. Oh, we got a creek. I bet there's all sorts of wildlife. Little deer, little baby deer. You know who loves killing baby deer is Rye. Just so everyone's aware, here's a picture of the deer that he masterfully hunted day after day until finally he was able to take down his prey. Yeah, that's it right there. A little baby ass deer. What a hunter. But anyway, I'm cool with it. I'm enjoying this drive. It's very pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Just beautiful. Look at that. Man, a little small town America down there. We're just sitting there. They're at home making their own little trinkets. They're probably making their own cheese. They got like a little, what do they call the thing that where you plunge?
In half a mile.
Shut up!
US
I'm doing my thing. Come on. Sorry about that. I tell the navigation don't talk when I'm talking, and then they just talk over me. It's like they don't even care. So I was a little too excited when I got to the body shop. I was too excited to take any videos of picking it up, but dude, this thing turned out insane. God, I'm gonna ruin it. I can't be around freshly painted cars. I really didn't think this through, but God, it's absolutely sick. So, I don't know if y'all remember, but we had, I think it was this, I honestly can't remember. One of the two quarter panels was basically completely caved in. Like it was just kicked the shit in. It was dented all the way down. I got a JDM rear bumper on it now. The roof is actually painted, you know, one color and it's not all faded. The front end is honestly the craziest part to me, how well everything fits. They just absolutely murdered. They homicided it. This thing is absolutely nuts. I don't know. I don't really. Whoo, doggy. Now, the marathon of labor begins. I gotta make this thing. It's 4:30 in the morning, I should add. It's Saturday morning. So now I have to make that, where's that? That engine, this one, right here. I'm gonna make that going here. That's the plan for today. First, I gotta fire up the old hot chode. It's been a whole season without my hot chode. And it's time to crank up the old hot chode. Oh no, come on. Oh, thought my hot chode had a frozen valve, but it doesn't. It's all good. Crank it up, dude. Come on, come on, come on. You know what? We'll do it in a second. It's not wanting to go. Come on. There it is. Blast off, dude! Hopefully nothing's flammable on the front of that CRX. Kick it up. Oh, you little hot show to the rescue, dude. Sick. It's 32 degrees, so I can't even see my breath anymore. That's how good the whole hot chode works. Sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and degreasify the engine bay The previous owner had the engine bay painted, so we didn't worry about it. It's nice and glossy where it needs to be. I'm gonna just clean that up. They went ahead and resprayed this top piece though, because I scratched the hell out of it when I took the engine out. Because I didn't take the bumper off when I took the engine out, so now I took the bumper off so I could put the engine in without scratching up any of this stuff, hopefully. Got mounts in, I don't know what brand they are. I'm guessing CX Racing, as the rest of the mounts I believe are CX Racing. Those are in. Now it's time to hoist and drop. I am solo this morning, so there's not going to be any video of this because I care too much about the paint to try and film and drop an engine in a car at the same time. Very hard to put that engine in with the tools I had. It's very upsetting because I scratched the car. Son of a bitch! Come on, man. God. Other than that, though, the only problems I see are the fact that the throttle body just deadhead straight into yonder way, and then my TPS sensor is gonna deadhead into the tub here. So, gotta figure out what to do for throttle body, or maybe if I can flip the TPS. I haven't really dug into that much. But engine's in. Transmission mounts are in, transmission mount is in, everything is bolted up tight, and I'm basically done. I just have a bunch of like small parts left to put in, you know, and then an entire engine harness. And then I forgot to put this on before I put the engine in, and just for the record, you can't put that on once the engine's in. So now I'm not gonna take this out, no way in hell. So what I'm gonna do is do a remote mount oil cooler, because that piece over there, all that water pipe does is feed my oil cooler. And honestly, like, here's the thing. Where are we at? Let me find it. It's somewhere in the sea of parts. Okay, it's somewhere, doesn't matter. But I almost gave up, but I didn't. So this is your oil cooler. It just feeds coolant through this housing. I'm gonna just not use that, and I'm gonna do a remote mount oil filter and then a separate cooler if my oil temps get rowdy. Hook my power steering stuff up. Accessory stuff still needs to go together. I need to bolt an exhaust manifold, put the old exhaust manifold up, and then I gotta do the fuel stuff over yonder there, and then we'll have something, you know, we'll have something to look at. Okay, so I just got my head on straight after a quick lunch break. Flipped idle air control valve, so that should be fine. I still have to run the wire harness. Turbocharger and exhaust manifold is mounted up just loosely. I'm still waiting on backing plate bolts to actually hold the turbo. And then I also have to modify the compressor housing to feed the cold side like it was before. But exhaust manifolds bolted up, screamer pipe, wastegates all bolted up. I also modified the water pipe I showed you earlier, and I'm deleting the oil cooler circuit. I'm just gonna run coolant to the heater core, and then this goes across the other side. And there's you can see that hose right there will go to this right here. Plastic is brittle, it'll crack over time, but yeah, I'm reckless, so whatever. Still need a belt for this thing as well, but made a ton of progress, and also got the front end back on this thing, which, God, it's just such a, honestly, like, this is my favorite JDM front end. And I don't mean, obviously it came USDM as well, but a kooky S14 front end just looks so freaking pissed off. And I'm absolutely in love with this car. I think it's got to be top 5. Got to be top 5. So to kind of round out the video and to round out the video and let you guys know what is next for this thing, because I'm gonna have to order some parts. I had a couple trials and tribulations, which is it's Egyptian for tribulations. Is how you, that's what that word means. First, mostly something that like really does bother me is, where is it? Anyone else just have like a shelf full of bullshit that you always have to? Okay, so here is the water pipe from the 1JZ. So before I had a 1JZ bottom end and a 1JZ head. This, hold on. You're in my armpit. You're okay. You're in my armpit. Okay, good, you're back. So this water pipe has got a couple O-rings on it. It goes right into the sphincter here, and then the other end goes into the other sphincter. I'll show you. Goes into this sphincter. And then, just for the sake of showing you, get this in. Well, see how that bolts up and it's shallow? Well, that's because now I don't have a 1JZ, 1JZ. I have a 2JZ bottom end and a 1JZ head, a 1.5 JZ. So I can't hook up my radiator without having the proper water pipe. So I got that on order, gotta do that, which is whatever, no big deal. Throw that back into my pile of, you know, stuff. And then also serpentine belt. I need a different serpentine belt because the power steering pump, I actually had to cock down a little bit and do my own bracket setup because the way it was before was hitting the throttle body, my new intake manifold. I wouldn't clear the power steering pump. So I have to get a new belt for that. The power steering pump itself should be fine, no issue there, but I'll need a belt, I'll need a water outlet. I'll also, oh, a little tootski-wootski. I need to fish you'll notice the turbo's pulled back off as well. I fished the harness through the firewall already, so that deadheads here, the same place that it did before. You should have a flashlight for this, but I have my ECU connectors right here. Running a Haltech Elite 2500 ECU. This is the only connector. And if anybody in the YouTube world knows what this is, I have no idea where this plugs. It's got, it's just, I have no clue. I have no idea where it goes. But there's a chassis module and some other things that are plugged in, which are done. Then on the engine side, I'm more than likely gonna have to switch up some of the harness stuff because the manifold that was on the car was the stock manifold, that 1JZ manifold that comes up and in. And obviously those connectors are in different locations. The injector connectors should be all the same. I'm not worried about that. But for example, my idle air control valve is now, you can see it right there. It's now underneath the manifold versus on top. So that wiring might have to get redone a bit. Radiator obviously works just fine. Should be a nice little combo. I mean, everything on the car is set up to make decent power. The turbocharger side of things, I ended up going with, I had a S300 based Borg Warner on there before. The only thing I did was step it up in size. So this is a 9180, I think is what they call it, which people have made upwards of 1,000 horsepower, I guess, on a 2J. I don't know, I'm just winging it. But that should make some good power. We got a decent cylinder head setup. Oh, the other thing that had me a little mind boggled, or mind bottled, depending on where you're from, is the coil pack brackets that I have. They don't fit these coil packs. Coils, I have these coils and I'm not sure, I think 1UZ, I can't remember, but there's the part number. I'll look it up after the video. And they were on the car when I bought it. This coil bracket was on the car when I bought it. And when you drop it in, it fits the inner bore just fine. No problem there. But this is the boss to bolt it down. And if I go over to bolt it down, well, then the connector actually hits on the valve cover, it doesn't clear. So the actual bracket doesn't fit with these coils. And I'm not sure if it's simply a 1JZ thing or what, but I referred back to pictures of the car when I bought it. And there's pictures where you can clearly see the previous owner had the coil packs just sitting in there with nothing bolting them down. Something that I'm not chill with. So what I'll have to do is figure out, basically, if anybody in YouTube land knows who makes this coil pack bracket, has an F stamped on it. I have no clue what brand it is, so on and so forth. But what the deal is there, let me see, there's more over here. Here's the rest of them. Again, I don't know what brand they are, the old rusty trusty, but they do not fit in a 1JZ. You can see the actual holes for to bolt the coil packs down are in different locations. I have tried every orientation of these brackets and nothing will clear those coil packs. So I am not 100% sure what's going on there, but I'll fix that because I do not want these just to hang out and dangle without being secured down, and then get a bunch of the other accessory stuff done. But for a half day's worth of work, I'm really happy with the progress. This thing is gonna be a monster. I have had people message me already asking to purchase the car. I have somebody that seems fairly serious, and I don't know that I'm gonna be able to sell it, which is not like me. I don't buy stuff like this to sit on and to keep forever. I buy it to put it together to make some content, and then I sell it. If I can make a little bit of money, awesome. If I break even, great. Normally I'll lose money on stuff, but this project I bought specifically because it was a good deal. It needed an engine, and then I ended up spending a lot more on it than I thought. I never planned on getting the car painted. I never planned on building an engine completely for it. I planned on just putting a stock 2JZ into the car. And now that I've put all this time and all this money, and Jamie painted it, and it's incredible looking, it's gonna be very difficult to let it go. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So we'll see. I love the thing. I think it's absolutely spectacular, and I cannot wait to hear how it sounds once it's running, man. Sweet. As always, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, if you've clicked off in the middle of the video, I don't blame you. I don't like watching me either. However, if you did make it to the end of the video, head over to clappedout.com/store. Also, check out the 2.4 hours of Les Mollets on the Cletus McFarland pay-per-view. Our boy James Tall is going to be repping Clapped Out in his Crown Victoria because he's going to stomp everybody into the dirt, take the dub for us. Everybody have a blessed weekend. You thought I was done. I was just Paul. I like pretended I was done, but I froze myself so you guys wouldn't know that I was